started having daughters, you know. This goes back before that, you know, because there were many people created at the beginning. You know, then you had Adam, you had Eve, they had Cain, they had Abel. Yeah. Cain killed Abel. They gave him Seth. The Lord gave Adam Seth, you know, and through Seth, that lineage of Seth was the lineage of the righteous. That's why you read, if you read Genesis the 5th chapter, Genesis the 5th chapter is the line of the sons of the Most High. But Genesis, the bottom half of Genesis the 4th chapter is the line of the sons of the wicked. You bring it out.
Luke chapter 3 and 38. All right, which was the son of Enoch, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the son of God. So the sons of God that you're reading about right here is the righteous family. Now it said that they dealt with the daughters of the daughters of men, right?
Right.
Where else can you find this same thing? And at the time when Jake was sleeping with, laying with those women, taking off, what was that in Nehemiah?
Yep.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Basically, they didn't just sleep with the women, but they started taking on their customs, man.
Yeah. It's the brother's birthday. All of which they chose.
Read that again, brother.
The sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair.
Right, it said the sons of God, so automatically they think it's the angels. Now, you do have certain instances where the sons of God represents the angels, but for the most part it's talking about the Israelites, or the people of the Most High. Read that right quick. Exodus 4.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
So those are the sons of the Most High. So, but back then they weren't being called Israelites because the term Israel didn't exist yet. But what were they? There was the line of Adam, that righteous line through Seth. And you could read down Methuselah and Enoch and all them different Arphaxad, you know, and all those men right there, that represent the sons of the Most High. So when the other nations started multiplying and they started having more children, more daughters, the sons of the Most High went and they saw the women of the other nations, they was fine as hell, and so they started marrying them. See, because you can have a concubine, but you're not supposed to marry them. So that's why the Most High got pissed off. Because when you marry these women, you start getting into their idols. That's why Samson got judged, right? Actually, King Solomon was really the one that got judged.
He took on their
Samson married though.
No. But see, David had concubines of other nations, but he didn't. His mind was right.
Right.
Solomon, his mind wasn't right.
Right.
He started worshiping and bowing to their gods, and going into their temple, and
building temples.
Yeah, he was going off.
That's why the scriptures made sure to say it serve their idols.
Right.
Yeah. Right. That's right. That was it on there, right? Go back to Genesis. Read that verse again.
And they took them wives of all which they chose.
And they took them wives of all whom they chose. Go ahead.
And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man.
Right, because he told Adam, don't break my commandment. He did it. Yeah. He telling these cats, look, just follow my word. They ain't doing it. So it got to the point where the Most High said, man, the wickedness of man is so great. He said, you know, I'm sick of these you know? Yeah. I'm about to take them out. You know? Go ahead.
For that he also is flesh.
Go ahead.
Yet his days shall be 120 years.
Now, if you go back to Genesis the 5th chapter, it gives you the length of time that these men were living.
Yeah,
900 years, 800 years, 700 years, 600 years.
Yep.
Noah himself was 500 years when he started having children. You know, but then after that, when that situation happened, then the stature and the age of man started dropping.
That death was being sown more into the earth, man, because we were drawing into the ways of the heathen round about.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sin is the wages of death, you know?
That's right.
And you gotta think it was thousands of years going on. People read the scriptures thinking that it's a short time. It's just a short time frame, you know, like, okay, Noah had a son, and then, you know, Methuselah came, and then and it just shows him one son. You gotta think, this is a long 900 years. He was living a 900 years, long lifespans, and a lot of the sons of God, the children of Israel, being born at that time. You know,
They were multiplying. That's right.
Keep going.
Verse 4. there were giants in the earth in those days.
It says there were giants in the earth in those days. Now if you type in Nephilim on Google and you hit images, they'll show you these big skulls, big dinosaur-looking skulls of humans with big, long, tall bodies. Now you did have men that was of stature back then because we were bigger back then.
In the earth, there wasn't no flood yet.
Right.
There were Hamites too that were like.
There were Hamites and all, yeah. You know, but what this scripture here is speaking about is not speaking about giants, and it should have not been translated as to the word giants. It should have been translated to the word fallen. And I'm explaining what that means because it doesn't mean fallen because you were kicked out of heaven, meaning that you fell from your stature. I'm gonna give you an example. Like you have movie stars, you have boxers, you have rappers, you have singers, and they to the world their reputation is greatly admired. They're esteemed almost like gods. But then there come a point that they may do something, right, and then they fall out of favor with the crowd. Like O.J. Simpson. You know, he was everybody's darling, but then when he allegedly killed Nicole Simpson, all these Edomites, they turned against him. Right. So he went from being highly esteemed to being lowly esteemed. At one point, we were in the good graces of the Most High, but then when we went off, the Lord turned His back on us. We fell away from His grace. That's what it's talking about. Right. It's talking about these great men of reputation. Their reputation was stained pretty much, and they fell from that stature. You got that?
Baruch 3:26. There were giants, famous from the beginning, that were of so great stature and so experts in war. All right. Sirach 16:7. He was not pacified towards the old giants who fell away in the strength of their foolishness.
Oh. You know, so that's what it's talking about.
So stature is not a measurement; it's the class.
Right.
Who they were.
Class.
Yeah,
right. You know?
Now, one more to prove that, you know, they lay with those women, but it was more than that. They were taking on the customs. Yeah. Now, when you read Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter is talking about idol worship. When you read the whole chapter, we ain't got to read the whole chapter. We're gonna go to the point.
Man, you got to read the whole chapter.
I mean,
reset for you too to back that one up.
Wisdom of Solomon 14. I start at 5. Nevertheless, thou wouldest not that the works of thy wisdom should be idle, and therefore do men commit their lives to a small piece of wood. Idol worship. It says, in passing through the sea, a weak vessel are saved. For in the old time also, when the proud giants perished, the hope of the world governed by thy hand escaped in a weak vessel and left to all ages a seed of generation. So that's, you know, they did more than just lay with the women, just like Solomon did more than just lay with the women. Just like at the time in Nehemiah, they did more than just lay with the women. They were raising the children up in customs that were outside of the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what these sons of God did. Which sons of God basically means the same thing as Israel. He's a prince of the power, sons of the Most High. It's the same thing, you know?
Did you want me to get this Hebrew word? You got a precept, Warby?
Khan. You can go ahead and get that. Okay, Khan. I was looking up, I just typed in Google, I just typed in giants in the sports world, and this is just, you know, something very basic. It says 2 historical giants in the sports world is Jackie Robinson and Thea Gibson.
I want to say Jackie Robinson was this damn big.
Yeah.
But you know, Jackie Robinson's reputation,
Right.
is
It's huge.
That's what I'm saying.
But we had to be bigger because it was the pressure on her. There wasn't no flood yet. This is before the flood, right? Yeah, so we had to be bigger to take, you know, to even live around that time. But it wasn't talking about, you know, their stature. It was talking about their rank and position in the earth. Yeah. You know?
This is that word giant in the Hebrew, Napayal.
Right.
It says giants, the Nephilim. You go to the root word, it's Nepal, to fall, lie, be cast down,
That's right.
fail.
Right. Now hold that. You read that and you hold that now. Let's go to back to can you pull up Isaiah 14 and 12 and then go to the word fall in there. We're gonna make a point there, then we're gonna go back to Genesis. Because it said, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Right? Now we read that the word for giants was napayal, right? Which goes back to the etymology root word napal, which means falling. You know, now you could either fall, you could stumble and fall on the ground, you know, or you could fall out of grace with somebody. You could be killed in battle and fall, you know. You got that, bro?
Isaiah 14:12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?
Yep.
The word fallen is Nepal.
Which means
Fall,
to fall.
lie.
Now, whenever you're ready, go back to Isaiah 14 and read on down.
Isaiah 14:12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?
So here it is, you Illuminati, right? You international bankers, you had the world in your hand. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
Right.
How are you falling from that great position that you had at one time? You know? So that's what it is. So now they're gonna go from riches to rags.
Yep.
It's gonna be like that movie Trading Places. At the end, we had we had Morte and Randy, you know, Mortimer, you know, and they were rich, but then they lost everything and they were homeless, you know. So that's along those lines, and them devils, when they put that movie together, they knew what the hell they were
Rich
talking
Man and
about.
Lazarus.
And Rich Man and Lazarus, that's right. You know. So go ahead.
It says, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation?
Right, who's doing that? Who's weakening the nations? Esau, the so-called white man. These nations are being bombed, they're being messed up, they're being whether they're doing it through wars, whether they're doing it through the financial, whether they're doing it through disease, you know, whether they're doing it, however they're doing it, GMOs and all that, they're weakening all these nations. That's why these nations got tired of trying to build up their country and starting to put their resources and their money into building up their army.
Yeah.
You know?
Because all the nations have drank down the wine of the wrath of fornication. That's talking about the worship to the image of the beast. Yeah. We just talked about how they teach everything based on a Luciferian doctrine. So everything's based in idol worship and paganism. And every institution that you see there that runs in the West, so to speak, it's all entrenched in idol worship, man. From the symbolism on Starbucks to the holidays that you have here, it's all entrenched in paganism, man.
Obelisk in Washington.
All of them.
Yeah.
So that's why you have a decadent, unruly society, man. I was just listening to the news and they was talking about the whole situation with North Korea. And basically you have these right-wingers that he's like, we should just bomb them. We should just bomb them. He's a threat.
That's weakening the nation.
You know?
Who's doing that? Are the Arabs doing that? Are the East Indians doing that? Do you got them Hamites down there in Africa doing that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No. The so-called white man is the one that's doing it all over the earth.
Yeah, man.
They have over 800 military bases all around the world. You know?
They're encircled around everybody, man.
Yeah.
And they dare you to do anything, man. They dare you, man.
That's right.
Oh, unless they'll bring that NATO on your ass, man. And that's what's getting ready to happen. But it's gonna culminate in them destroying themselves, as the scriptures say. You know? So we applaud it. Alright? Because this is what's gonna happen. Isaiah 14:13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High.
Who did that? Who else had the technology to build these planes to go up into the heavens? Helicopters, space stations, space shuttles, satellites. Why did they do all of that? Because they want to keep an eye on everybody and because they want a way out when the Lord YAHAWASHI comes back. They want to be able to escape. You know, so they said, look, I'm going to be like the Most High. That's why they're trying to create life.
Yeah.
You know?
They want to control the whole ecosphere, man.
Yeah.
They want to be the power of the earth.
That's right, and they want to chip everybody so they can keep track of them the same way the Most High keeps track of them. Because the Lord said, all spirits are mine, all souls are mine. He's the Father of spirits. So everywhere you are in the world, the Most High knows exactly where you are. That's why he said, look, don't think to say within yourself, oh, I'm just one person, one soul. I'm sending the Lord. He gonna miss me.
Adam, I would say Adam tried that.
Yeah. Try to hide the cool, you know. It's like, man, the Most High knows every spirit wherever they at.
That's right.
You could be underground forever. Nobody ever saw you, you know. But the Most High sees you.
That's right.
You know.
I was gonna ask this. You know, the tribe of Issachar, they call them like, you know, the keepers of time. In Chronicles, it says that was their job.
Yeah.
That's to keep time.
Yeah.
And that's what when Israel would go to war, they would ask Issachar to look at the sky and see the signs of the Most High.
It sounds like you know way more about the Bible than that Islam shit.
Yeah.
I know about I study
I'm just
everything.
playing,
Even
dog.
Sikhi. I study Sikhi too. I mean, a whole bunch of religions. Right?
When World War III pop out, you're gonna be worried about the scripture.
No doubt, man. That's why I'm here. You know, on Tuesday I was here from 4 o'clock waiting, man, just waiting the whole time. And you know, today I waited from 4 o'clock too to make sure I was here.
But you caught that live show though.
Huh?
But you caught that live show.
I did.
So you got
I was on the live show. Yeah.
Oh, you was on the
That's what's up. I was talking. I was there. You know, I was listening. I just sat there and listened. You know. But
We'll go back to this in Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13.
So you know, like sometimes I'll say this real quick. Sometimes people ask a question and they want a quick answer, and you can give a quick answer, but to give you the answer in the scriptures takes time. You know, you got to be patient to go from this precept to that precept, and another brother might come in and make a precept. Then the spirit might go off to something else for a hot minute and come back. You have to be patient. You could give them the quick answer, but then when you leave, you're gonna repeat the same thing, but you're not gonna know how to prove it.
So that's how I would say that's how the spirit is jumping around like that to see if it can keep your attention.
Right.
Because it's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? Here a little, there a little.
yeah.
So, because a lot of people, I say a lot of people come up here. A lot of people come up here, and instead of listening, they waiting on their chance to speak.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? What about this? What about this? What about this? But you see, every question that you've asked since you've been up here has been answered with the scriptures, right? You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get that nowhere else. You're gonna get a whole lot of rah, 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 and, you know what I'm saying? And a whole lot of madness, man. No. Sometimes the spirit call for that. You know what I'm saying? But usually when ruckus like that arises, it's to get the demons away so the people that want to hear stay and listen. You know what I'm saying?
Continuing on, it says, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation.
What's the mount of the congregation? The mount of the congregation are the Israelites. The word congregation breaks down to con is with, gregation from the word Greg or Gregory, which means the flock. With the flock. Who's the flock of the Most High's passion? The Israelites.
That's right.
So he's sitting on top of us here in America. You know? In the north, in the sides of the north.
In the sides of the north. It says, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
Yep.
Esau.
They do that every day.
Esau.
Yep.
Space travel, right?
Yeah.
Space travel.
Because they knew about the chariots, the story of Israel coming into the land of Canaan was remembered by all the nations, man. That destruction that was coming, man, and the power the glory of the clouds that was resting with the nation of Israel. Those stories created doctrines. People made up fables about it, man. You know, so the nations know about the chariots, man. I will stand above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. See?
I will be like the Most High. That's what they're trying to create life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I saw that video Brother YAHAWAH had put up. I think somebody put it up. He might have popped it and put it up with that lamb in the bag.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see it. I just saw the thumbnail.
Right.
But they want to create life. But the problem is they can't control the spirit. They're trying to do everything they can to make people, to create people so that they could be like the Most High. You know, that's why they say if you're a man, you want to be a woman, they can chop off your rod, they can give you titties. If you're a woman, you want to be a man, they can chop off your titties, put a rod on you.
Take hormones and shit.
Yeah, take them hormone pills because they're trying to be like the Most High. The Most High created you to be a man, but you want to be a goddamn woman. You know? And in all things, I mean, that's why they're trying to take what is that, stem cell research?
Yeah, stem cell research.
Taking DNA out of people so that you won't get the degenerative diseases that run in your family. know? So they want to be like the Most High.
They trying to put the since they know they can't control the spirit, they trying to transfer the spirit to another body. They got all kind of movies on that, you know what I'm saying? Because they know what they got, they know what they can't do, they know what YAHAWAH can do, and they trying to duplicate it.
They know their limits.
Yeah.
Now they're supposed to be this one dude that they're supposed to be, because his body's all messed up, but his brain, you know, he's like a genius, and they're supposed to be doing like the first head surgery. You know, they want to cut his head off and put it on another body. But that's not them trying to be like the Most High. I don't see the other nations doing that. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say real quick, even like the movie Get Out. You know, that's the prime example of how Esau wants to do with this. How he wants to do with the system. He wants to take literally the minds and the spirits of Jake and put it within themselves. You know, and even also with the chip. You know, they want to have everybody ran off pretty much a swift system. You know, your chip can get cut off anytime. If you don't apply to this rule, the chip get cut off. You can die. Money don't work no more. No health care, no Medicare. You know,
that's like on Get Out. He told him, he was like, yeah, it'll still be a little bit of you in there, but I'm gonna be running the show.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to put his spirit into that dude's body. You know what I'm saying?
They be letting you know in the movies so too sometimes. Great.
Yeah. That movie Transcendence, I believe it is. I don't know if y'all seen it.
Yeah.
You know, they're trying their best to trap the spirit, but they can't.
Yeah.
You know, the Most High is the Father of the spirits, not you. Go ahead, you got it.
It says, "Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell."
Right, you shall be brought down to hell. The word hell means grave. Meaning you're gonna be brought down to a low position. Somebody get what is that? Psalms 116 is it? Or is it Psalm 16 where King David said, "The pains of hell, the pains of hell get hold of me"? Because we want to go back to that though. Isaiah 14. It's either Psalm 16 or Psalms 116.
116 and 3.
Okay, bring it out.
Psalms 116 and 3. The sorrows of death compassed me, and the pains of hell got hold of me.
So hell is it could be a condition that you're in, a low condition, or it could be the grave. You know, where somebody buries you. So the Lord's saying that this devil, he's exalted to the heavens, but he's going to be brought down. He's going to be brought down to a low position. Okay.
Right.
Back to okay, bring it out.
This is Jonah chapter 2, verse 2. It said, "I cried by reason of mine affliction unto YAHAWAH, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice."
So Jonah was in the belly of the whale. So you mean to tell me that's where hell is? No, he's just saying that the condition that he was in, he was like in a hellified condition. You know, that must have been horrible, man. All right, let's go back to Isaiah.
Isaiah 14 and 15. "Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit." It says, "They that see thee shall..."
Right. So here's the point. First we read about Lucifer. Then it says when you brought down to this condition or this position, you're gonna be looked at. They're gonna see you.
When you look up the word pit, it goes into a dungeon, a cistern, a well. You know what I mean? So it's basically a prison. You got captured. And so these elite are fugitives, man. And when the glory of YAHAWASHI returns, when we get that power, man, we're going to go capture these elites, man.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, because it says we're going to be his battle axe, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
The system.
Yep.
When the elites when we go get the elites, and they're going to be in the system of righteousness now, man. They're going to have to follow the system of YAHAWASHI.
That's why they got all those underground cities trying to hide and stuff, right?
They're called dumps, deep underground military bases. You know?
All right, this is verse 16. "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to trouble?
Read that again.
Is this the man?
What?
Is this the man?
I thought that was Lucifer. I thought that was Satan.
Right.
Hey, what verse?
This is verse 16 in Isaiah 14.
I thought that was Satan.
Right.
So it says, "Is this the man?" Which lets you know that their whole mythology or that crap that they teach about Satan getting kicked out of heaven is just that, fables. You know, when you read the scriptures with understanding, you come to find out that it's talking about a specific people.
What verse was that? Verse 16. Because when you go up to Isaiah 14:4, it says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
So it's going to be talking about the king of Babylon. Then also talk about it's talking about Satan. You know, Lucifer. You know, and the word Satan simply means adversary. The so-called white man is an adversary to everything that's righteous. So he's the Most High's adversary. And he was created to be such. But now your job is done. You know, you got a few more little seconds of room, and then you're going to be brought down to hell.
That's right.
Back down to the pit. Down to your lower state that you belong, because you are children of fools, children of basement.
That's right, brother.
You know? So you're going to go back to where you belong, because the scriptures say that the elder shall serve the younger. So the elder son that came out, which was Esau, was supposed to be the slave of Jacob. So they're going to go back to that peasant position that they were supposed to be in.
That's right.
Because before they became the Rothschilds, you know, their name was Bauer. They called themselves Rothschild. They were the name, their original name was Bauer. The term Bauer means peasant. And that's exactly what they were supposed to be, peasants.
That's right.
They were supposed to be slaves. But because the Lord allowed them, you know, because we messed up and the Lord allowed them to rule the earth, then the first thing they did was deceive the whole world into thinking that they're the Most High. You know, that they're the people of the Lord. But they're nothing more than filthy cavemen.
That's why
they no longer giants.
They're no longer giants, right? Now they are considered the fallen ones. The Nephilim.
I got a quick precept.
Although those Nephilim back then was talking about the sons of the Most High, you know, like the chosen line of Adam, you know. You have something, bro?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to say the Rothschilds not going to be men of renown no more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because when you talk about the Rothschilds, people are like in awe of the Rothschilds because of their wealth. They have all different kind of wines called after their names, cognacs called after their names, probably cheese and all different products. Animals.
Got a street in Jerusalem.
Butterflies. They got a street in Jerusalem. You know, so that name, when you speak about that name, it exudes greatness in this world, even though they're the wicked. But then when you hear that name in the kingdom, they're gonna be bullshit. The lowest of the low. That's right.
Sugar the shit.
You got it, bro.
Yeah, well, we read Revelation, how you read Revelation 1, it tells you that these are things that are shortly going to come to pass. Read that.
Okay, I'm starting to talk. Revelations 18:1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven. Verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen.
They're fallen again. They're fallen again. Babylon the Great is fallen.
Is fallen. It has become the habitation of devils, in the hold of every foul spirit.
You know, like Babylon, so like Babylon represents, which is America, represents the capital of Esau today. The ancient capital was Basra. You know, and just the same way you don't really hear about Basra too tough anymore, the same way you're not going to hear about America anymore. When you hear about this place, all you're going to hear about is how wicked it was and the destruction that came upon it from the judgment of the Most High.
And you see the destruction being prepared right before your eyes, man. With all these false flag wars, these proxy wars that are going on. Right now, North Korea just shot off another missile. And Trump and the West have been saber-rattling, saying that they was going to respond, man. All right? So shoot, man, you could have a strike by North Korea. North Korea could hit the West Coast with an EMP or something, man. Or maybe hit Australia or Japan. And that caused all-out chaos in this place, man. World War III is on the cusp. The situation that's going on in the Middle East, this is the Most High stirring these things up.
That's right.
This is the Most High